Hi, I'm Kurt Vonnegut. I'm looking for Ryan. Hi, I'm Kurt Vonnegut. I'm looking for Ryan Stone.
What's that? Fuck me. Hey, Kurt, you read lips. Fuck you!
And Ryan Stone. He's a halfway decent looking guy, a nice smile. You have to get through that wall because he...
79T 2458 Learning Corp Little Red Riding Hood, take one.
Somebody find out the fucking real names for me.
40 years of my life is in the wire that's gone. Does that make sense?
You have to get through that wall.
But I only know what my heart feels.
Where they say there are Indian people pooping on our beach.
Socially retarded.
It's a spool of wire. 40 years of my life is in the wire that's gone.
Let's pop out chat. Fellas. I remember you. You're that guy. Hey, what's going on? Welcome. It's Red Morning. It's going to be the last one for the 2 weeks. After this, I'm going on vacation. Heading down to the West Coast. I cannot wait to see. It's like big things are happening, man. If you guys haven't heard, which you haven't, because who would? It's Canada. We've decided private property rights aren't real. Remember that Magna Carta stuff? I don't know, I think private property might have been like at the advent of the agricultural revolution. We're like, nah, we're good, fam. We'd rather not be racist. So I guess the Supreme Court of Canada gave away like a quarter of Richmond, BC, which is like a suburb of Vancouver. So they just gave Vancouver to a bunch of native tribes, and all the people living there are like, hey, the bank wants to foreclose on my house now because it's not worth anything. I can't sell it. What are we doing here? And they're like, shut up. And then all of a sudden, everybody else surrounding them are like, well, why are we paying property taxes if you're not a valid government? And we're going, I can't wait to go see how this is playing out. Dude, people are going to be angry. What am I going to do with my Saturday mornings? I've got you, fam. There is 4 YouTube channels I strongly suggest you watch, depending on your inclinations. There is the Looney Tunes one, and they play all of them. With an alternative, as you know all those racist Looney Tunes ones, like from World War II? With the Japanese and the big teeth in that. They got one for that too. It's like a Looney Tunes After Dark. And then Hasbro has a G.I. Joe channel, 24/7, 365 G.I. Joe. They have a Transformers channel and a He-Man channel, 24, 367 Transformers, 24, 367 He-Man. And if you're one of those, do they still do bronies or is that old? Because there's a My Little Pony one as well. I'd strongly suggest you pick one of those next weekend. Whatever happened to Destiny's ex-wife, Melina? We never heard from her again after she left and went for a twink who made Jack look masculine. Does it even matter anymore? Like, that's kind of where the topic's going on this one. The cyclical nature of history. And the sphere is no different. It's no different. It's goddamn ridiculous. Hey, if you haven't, store.ryanstone.com. If you're short on coffee cups, go pick one up. Use promotional code PROMOTION. And get these things at 99 cents above cost. It's pretty good. Makes the coffee taste better, more masculine. And it's like Joe versus the volcano. When you're in your office and you're staring at palm trees, you can be thinking about, dude, I'd love to go die in that volcano with Meg Ryan. She used to be a stunner back in the day. She was like the Julia Roberts, but for pixie cuts. And then all of a sudden, the surgeons got a hold of her. WWE at Hulk Hogan's Rock and... See, I remember rock and roll wrestling. I used to get the coloring books, or the books. There's like comic books. And you'd have to use 3D glasses to see the things, but you would buy sticker packs. And then the stickers, you could fill in the things. It was pretty cool. Do not remember a thing about the show, though. Not a thing. Anywho. So that's something you guys can do on there. But yeah, cyclic... Here, I keep clipping. I know everybody keeps talking about the volume. I think that's a fixed problem now. I'm pretty sure that's StreamYard messing with me. So like a bunch of stuff gets it started. And I'm blessed. I've worked to put myself in a position that I stay grounded to red pill for regular people. And by regular, I mean not crazy unhinged schizos that are on, online starting drama, because the recession's hitting. Like big recession indicators when Instagram models start turning on each other, and oh my god, it's brutal. You missed out on the Don't Eat Paint Cup. Well, I mean, it's due for a comeback. It is due for a comeback. I kind of change up the whole line every year or two, and it's been about 2 years, so I think it's time. Maybe I'll bring back Don't Eat Paint. Anywho, so I do a workshop. I talk about it now and again. I don't promote it really because I don't want a huge group in there. I kind of like the ones that are motivated enough to find it. Keeps it intimate enough that it can be useful, right? Because if it gets too big, it turns into an entertainment vehicle, and that's not the point. Anywho, I was inspired by this guy, Christian McQueen, who Rollo used to work with. He introduced me. Nice enough guy. I guess wasn't well thought of by some other people in the sphere. The standard grifter stuff. To be fair, he kind of reminded me of like a less abrasive MLD John, which is fine. Plus his lecture on where to get the best luxury shoes at the airport. It was like, it's an interesting take. So apparently if you want to get like $1,000 leather skin shoes and that, you go to the airports in the little luxury section there at the duty free, and you'll get them at a better discount than if you were to go buy them retail. Which, you know what? I actually, now that I'm thinking back on it, I kind of like it because it's practical, right? It's an if-then thing. And what is that? Like, if you want these kind of things, here's a place you can go where you don't have to spend exorbitant amounts of money. And you're already flying, so why not? Oh, I think that happened in Oklahoma. The Senate effed up 100 years ago. Jeez. Yeah, but yeah, the Destiny's ex-wife Melinda. Like, this guy's a train wreck, but it's not new. He's not the first guy that's done this. Heck, even go back to like the 70s. You got degenerates like Bukowski that were sleeping with single moms and doing all kinds of crazy degenerate shit. The only difference between Bukowski and Destiny is Bukowski looks like he's lived in the world and he looked like a can of smashed assholes, and Destiny looks like the retarded child of that guy. It's kind of like The Hobbit, if The Hobbit was into blowing dudes. But, yeah. Andy Worski was the same way with Jeff Garpy. Jeff Garpy still over his head. Like, I'm almost convinced. In fact, everybody is almost convinced that he murdered his wife in Quebec. Almost convinced. And the problem is, it's not hard to picture that either, because if you guys are like, who the hell's Jeff Garpy? Oh, dude. They were the Whatever podcast before the Whatever podcast. They were what got Brittany Venti her start. They were got all of this nonsense. He was a Quebec separatist little edgelord. But he's a Quebecer, whatever. But you see the stuff in the workshop. It's great. Because guys, I mean, it's not great in the sense that everything is going well. A lot of guys are in some pretty horrible situations. And the funniest part of that is when you break it down, like how much of this prison is your self-inflicted prison. And you'll find surprisingly a lot of it. It was... They don't have themes, but it's funny how as you go on, you'll notice that guys kind of go through similar things at similar times. And so it almost looks like each episode of the workshop has a theme. There was this one where everybody was realizing that every fight they had with their wife and their girlfriend was because they fought. You're like, what? Yeah, it's like, at first it's always, these are such horrible fights. She yells at me this, we have huge arguments here, arguments there, blah, blah, blah. And they, like, I can't figure it out. Like, why can't she be pleasant? Why can't she be normal? Why does she have to yell? Why does she have to call me a cunt? And you're like, so you go through, covert contracts, boundary enforcement, shut the fuck up as a temporary strategy until you figure out some better tools to deal with her emotional shenanigans. Your fogging, your amused mastery, your agree and amplify, your negative inquiry, your negative assertion. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, there is a sidebar and a supplementary series I've had up here for 6 years now. And I'm actually kind of offended that you don't know. The big two ones, No More Mr. Nice Guy by Robert Glover and When I Say No, I Feel Guilty by Manuel Smith. On top of that, the two of the best game and red pill books that we have on the sidebar, Practical Female Psychology for the Practical Man by David Clare, and as always, The Rational Male by Rollo Tomasi. So they start learning these tricks, and you'll see, like, they'll try, right? So, like, this week I'm making an effort to not take bait or to enforce my boundaries. And sometimes it's easy. It's just, she starts freaking out, I'm leaving the room, whatever. And almost instantly, they realize that fights don't happen anymore. Like, it was, I can't remember which episodes it was like a couple weeks ago, but everybody was having these very mundane, normal, like, they seemed almost like, dude, why are you phoning this in? Put in a proper field report. I'm like, no, this is a proper field report. You don't understand. If you're in a marriage 5, 10, 15 years, just yelling at each other all the time. I hate you, you son of a bitch, blah, blah, blah. And then now it was just like the wife got snippy, went and grabbed a beer. I poked fun at her. And nothing happened. And you're like, that's awesome. It's this wonderful moment. And I love recapturing it when I can. I mean, it's not me, it's them. But I like facilitating it. Where they rediscover red pill stuff through first principles. She's like, what? It's like, yeah. All of our little platitudes, like, it's not yours, it's just your turn. Hate her just a little bit. Like, all these little pithy aphorisms. And you guys know them. You know them off the top of your head. You probably remember stuff that I forgot about the aphorisms. I'll get on Twitter and eventually remember one again. But you guys have them off the top of your head, and it's great. Here's the thing I found, though. Is that most guys don't have that and their actions connected. Completely disjointed. And so one of the ones we have is it's only a fight if you decide it's a fight, right? I think there's a cleverer way of putting it, but yeah, it takes two people to fight, essentially. That's one of the mental models. And so if you don't yell at her, she can't start the fight, and then you don't have a fight. And guys will kind of figure this out where it's like, yeah, she's just freaking out and stuff. And again, it's a simple thing. And I'm giving this shit out for free, guys. It's a simple thing you do. When your wife or your girlfriend or anybody is shitting on you for something that you are doing wrong, that you're deficient in, that you should be shamed of, something like that, just take a beat. Just take a beat. Does she have a point? That's it. Take a beat. Does she have a point? And you think about it. You don't have to think about it long, just a little bit. Now, sometimes, rarely, you'll find, yeah, she's kind of got a point. In which case, why are you fighting? She's not wrong. Well, it's her tone. Like, what are we, fucking women? Oh, her tone was so off. Yeah, but she's right. Just say, all right, fair enough. You have a point. It's like, what? Why would you do that? It's like, well, it's because there's this other thing that we talk about in there. Have you tried being honest? Have you tried being honest with your wife? She or your girlfriend, you married her, you settled down with her, you decided that she was the one for you, and she gets all these benefits, and you get sex. And often, guys, because we're not thinking about her, or not ourselves, we're thinking about her, we're like, what do we bring to the table? You know, what do we bring? And one of the most amazing things that guys don't even realize we bring that's so valuable is we're the only honest person in her life. Maybe her dad. And maybe her brother. So I'm like one of 3 honest people in her life. Her friends aren't honest with her. No, bitch, cut that hair. Yeah, fuck that man. Oh, you should leave him for emotionally abusing you by watching an Andrew Tate podcast. We'll get to that later. Yeah, girl, totally get that breast reduction. Like, they just give out the shittiest advice because it's all competition. Yeah, we're friends, but I still want to be the better friend. And then guys that want to date them, oh, they're not going to be honest. Dude, I want to fuck you, as if I'm going to start telling you honesty. No, I'm going to tell you what you want to hear. So nobody's honest with them, and they live in this magical, fun, fairy gumdrop world. Everybody's kind, everybody's nice, and oh, if you're a hot girl, Jesus Christ. Nobody's mean to you. Nobody's honest with you. Everybody's like, oh no, I often change strangers' tires in the street. You have a good day, ma'am. She's like, people are so good. I don't know why those Trumpers are so angry. And then they hit the wall. And all of a sudden, guys start treating them like people. And this is why older women get just vicious, savage, bitter, embittered, cynical. Because they were raised on a lie for 35, 40 years of their life. Then all of a sudden, one day, the switch flips in guys' heads and they're like, meh, empty egg carton. There's Stefan Molyneux clicks on like the Manchurian Candidate, and the girl's like, and you're like, hey, what's up? You're like, Jesus, what the hell? Now, all of that to say, guys will just not take the bait. And they'll take the mental math. They're like, dude, does she have a point? Most of the time, it's like, no, she really doesn't have a point. I do this, I do this, I do this, I do this. So there's no way I'm accused of guilty of this. Now, where they previously went wrong is they're like, oh, she must not know. She fucking knows. She doesn't care. She's angry. She's processing things. Truth has nothing to do with it. That's not how women work. So where previously they'd be like, oh, I do the garbage every Tuesday, you son of a bitch. And then she's like, how dare you call me a son of a bitch? Now it's on. Now it's on. But what they realized is like, does she have a point? No, she doesn't have a point. All right, well, this isn't about you, which takes an amazing amount of pressure off. Oh, I guess I don't have to take it personally then if it's not about me. Well, what is it about? Well, when was the last time she ate? 6 hours ago? It's like, really? Yeah, try it. Girls yelling at him. Here, babe, have a sandwich. I don't want a sandwich. Just eat the sandwich. It's like talking to a child. She eats the sandwich. Oh, I feel so much better. Thanks. I was just in a mood. You're like, uh-huh. Or she needs a nap. You've been up for 23 hours and she's fucking yelling at you. He's like, tell you what, you want to have this fight? Let's get some sleep. We'll have some fight. We'll have the fight in the morning because I'm too tired for it now. And I want to give you the best fight. All right, fine. Fuck you. Goes to sleep, wake up the next morning. Hey, do you want omelets? Sure, babe. It's not about you, man. Nothing to do with you. Or, my favorite one, did you talk to your mother-in-law today? Or did you talk to your mother today? Yeah, we had a conversation. I'm just so angry. And you're like, oh, okay. It's not about you. And then the guys are like, yeah, and it's great. Then I just start realizing this stuff's not about me. And then she starts yelling at me. And I think it's funny because she's like just randomly throwing out random shit. She's standing on the thing that I fixed. And she's asking why I didn't fix it. I'm like, you're standing on it. And I just laugh. And then we don't have fights. And it's great. And they kind of, like I said, they know the platitude, but getting the actions there. Anyways, amazing things. And then you go online. And oh my God. Pause it there, though, because Chad of Arabia, Mish himself, the HR of HR Corporate Mans, has an awesome Substack, by the way. You want practical work advice? I can't think of anybody who puts out better corporate advice because it's not that stupid do your best, pad your resume bullshit. It's like more like, here's how you send an email without sounding like a fucking moron. Or here's how you don't embarrass yourself at the Christmas party. Or here's how you talk to your new boss. Like this, the basic stuff that mentorship would have handled, but nobody mentors anybody anymore, unless you're a woman. And even then, if you're a guy who's not afraid of Me Too, maybe you'll get some mentorship. But right now, it's just mercenary. We don't give a shit. And we're hiring Indians anyway, so what the fuck do you want from me? Paycheck? Get out of here. But gee, take his role. So what do you do when your wife asks you, how do I look in these jeans? How does she look in those jeans? Tell her how she looks in those jeans. Well, I don't want to lie to her. All right, don't lie to her. Well, I don't want to be honest either because she looks bad in those jeans, but she's making an effort to lose weight. So it's like, whatever, like, fine then. Don't ask. Just don't answer. That's the other thing. Every time you lie to your woman, you're lying because you want something from her. You want validation. You want to spare her feelings. You want something from her. And so you're afraid of being honest because you won't get it. I see a free gender. You see it that you don't get it. So what do I do then if I don't want to tell her? Tell her you're not telling her. No, we're not playing this. Not doing this. Well, how do I look in these jeans? No, I'm not going to answer that. Why not? Because every time you do this, you say something, and if I say you look good, you call me a liar. And if I say you look bad, you get mad at me for being an asshole. So I'm just not playing. See what I mean? You don't have to answer everything just because you're asked. All right. I used to grab my wife's tummy and make fun of her stomach until she dropped the weight. Bullying works sometimes. It actually really does. It really does. You'll be surprised you guys will be surprised how influential you can be on your woman if the idea of her crying doesn't fill you with existential dread. Existential dread. It's amazing. I've used the line myself that you could use a few. Girl was training for, they do this bike ride for cancer every year for a bunch of like the Fortune 100 companies around here. And they drive their cycles from, I think it's Montreal to Niagara Falls. It's like a 2-day ride, like 1,000 kilometers, something like that. I'd have to go look it up. Anyway, she likes doing that. So when she starts training for it, she always gets self-conscious about stuff. And yeah, it's just like, hey, You could lose a few with aerodynamic. And you shut up, son of a bitch. Like, but I'll tell you this, he finishes the race every year. Jack, are you the guy Ryan made an ad about? I don't think I have an ad about Jack, because Jack doesn't do anything retarded. Anyways, Free Gender gave me a 5... Fuck. 1 second. I'm totally not prepared for this. He gave me a $5 super chat, and then I'm supposed to go look through.
So the meme, they're very good. This is really, they've taken it.
True Alpha.
Named Ryan Stone.
It says, I asked Murphy about the article he wrote, cuckolding his wife. Clear up the cuck article. Clear up the cuck article.
Why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me?
If I wasn't prepared to literally impoverish his entire bloodline,
I am now concerned for my career.
And I still recommend clear up the cuck article.
You know what? Fuck you for bringing this up. Yeah. Fuck you. Heartfelt.
I'm not gonna have those guys back on my channel again. Absolutely not.
Just use a little bit of fucking common sense.
It is just.
That's great. That's you should.
Fuck you.
Sorry, apologies.
Just keep going, dude. One foot in front of the other. Before you know it, this will all be in the rearview mirror. Fuck you.
I'll get to the super chats. Just 1 sec. I guess there's like a new thing about her now, which is hilarious. I gotta go look. Yeah, somebody was saying we've all seen the Nick Fuentes Pearl clip, or Nick Fuentes. The fuck's this? Sydney meme, and I was like, what the hell are they talking about? Oh my god! And I guess there's a meme of like Sydney Watson nagging Nick Fuentes about tone, and then him doing like that thing where tinnitus kicks. That's the perfect frequency for tinnitus, by the way. I was like, it's not a Red Morning ad, but it's pretty good. So it's just so funny how it's like yelling at Sydney Watson now has become like a thing. Anyways, so for Chad, thank you very much. That 250 SARS, which I gotta find hilarious, being how you're Middle Eastern and your currency is like, yes, SAR. Maybe that's why the Indians keep calling people SAR. They just call them money. Free Gender says to read in chat. Unfortunately, I don't see anything in chat. So if you're putting a link in there, it's probably not showing up. Or possibly a language filter thing. So you might have to fandangle what it is you're talking about if you're using any fancy keywords. I have nothing filtered on here, so it's something site-wide. I can't fix it. The best compliment I got from Couch. Oh, dear God, we got Dominicans and Orcs here. We got John and we got Nuke. John, Nuke, Chad, Jack. All we're missing is Chesty and Rob and Rurb. Jesus Christ. I feel good you guys are up early in the morning with me. Oh, I guess for Mish, it's probably like 7 in the afternoon on Tuesday. Seeing this girl who's an MMA girl, trained to be a fighter, and now kind of got happy. She wants to get in the gym and said, good, we're going to do strong lifts. Fair. All right, so when I'm keeping an eye out, Free Gender, when I see your thing, I will read it. I'll do my best. Back to the thing. So yeah, you get online and like, but you see what I mean? That's one example. I've got hundreds of those examples on a weekly basis of stuff. And it doesn't all have to be like the most amazing, high stakes story of, oh, she cheated on me and I fucked her sister. Or, oh my God, we were on the brink of divorce and I pulled it all back. Sometimes it's just like the regular indignities of life. It's like, how do I get my wife to just stop yelling at me? And it's like $5-6 a month. And the guys are like, oh my God. Turns out there was some work to do, a little bit of reading, a little bit of work, some self-reflection, and to let me run my mouth for a couple hours a week. And they're like, yeah, it's amazing. 80% of the way I was there, but there's like obvious stuff that I'm fucking up that I didn't know I was doing. And now it's better. I like the little wins. I think they're great. And then I get online and oh my God, everybody online, again, I'm telling you guys, it's a recession indicator. Once influencers start attacking each other. The newest one was what's that fucking Andrew Wilson and his wife, which I don't remember her name, which is too bad. I've talked to them a bit. Andrew, it's like he's fine when the cameras are off. Like I know it's a character. I get it. At least or maybe when the cameras are off, that's a character. I don't know. Rachel Wilson, thank you. She has seemed sweet. I've never got any vibe of like not being sweet to talk to her. So she's either got a really good mask or she's just a really good person. And in fairness, I think she's great. Not because of like their message and all the drama and stuff, because no matter what Andrew does, she has got his back. She is a ride or die bitch, and you find them in the most curious of places. He goes on national TV. He goes on YouTube for a very popular live stream, gets stuck opening a jar of pickles, blaming it on how the label's greasy. Not to mention the black girl that handed to him is like, wait a minute, is he calling me greasy? It's a bit of a thing. She gets up there, no hesitation, defends her non-pickle jar opening man from the internet. And I'm like, the balls it takes, man. There's like, insert the meme of what's his face fighting all the orcs in Gondor or whatever, just standing there. Like, insert that shit. He could say the dumbest thing. He called a lesbian a cunt. And Rachel's right up there. It's like, hey, don't talk shit about my man. Bless that woman. Bless that woman. No fear. No fear. And you got to admit, man, you guys may have strong opinions about them one way or the other, but, well, she's got 3 daddies from the 3 babies. And like, don't worry about the stats. Just look at how she's treating you. And if she treats him offline the way she treats him online, I can see it. I don't need him to do it. I can do it myself. He was on Rule Zero the once. We were kind of chatting. But that was the thing. It wasn't really the debate stuff you hear now. We were just talking. Although he did kind of do the technique a little bit, but we don't really play it here because we're not into the blood sports and we're not stupid college chicks trying to look smart. So a lot of it's just kind of like, dude, what are we doing here? Like, I remember for he and I, when we were talking online, it was mostly just him setting up these like convoluted hypotheticals that there's only one way out of them. And he's like, well, how do you explain that? I'm like, well, dude, if I just invent an entire narrative structure to surround this one obvious answer, of course I'm going to be right no matter what. What's that got to do with anything? And he basically avoided simple questions. Like the easy one you'd always ask for a guy who's talking about traditional conservative values or whatever is, well, there's 2. Nuke came up with the one, I think, where it was like, hey, was your wife a virgin when she met you? You know, and then that kind of shuts that chastity thing down. But then the other one is like, well, what do men get from marriage they don't already get from a relation, like a normal relationship? And there's no answer to it. There's none. I think actually there's 2 answers to it. One, if your girl gives you an ultimatum and is willing to leave and that bothers you enough, then yes, that will work. And if you're an expat and you go to certain countries, they don't recognize common law at all. And so she will be fucked and she won't even be allowed in the country sometimes unless there's a marriage certificate attached. Those are the only 2 examples I've seen. But they don't know that. That's the thing. They didn't even think this shit up. But do you think this is different? Do you think Andy Worski wasn't doing this in 2015? Do you think, I don't even know who would have been before that, Ricky Lake or Sarah Jessica Raphael or whatever? Do you think they were doing it any different back then? No, it's all exactly the same. All the same. But anyways, so calls the chick a cunt or a stunned cunt or something like that. Don't talk shit. He pulled a Will Smith. Keep my wife's name out your motherfucking mouth. And I was like, oh shit. Internet's gonna be on that. He pulled a Jack Murphy. Don't ever fucking yell at like some wee little girl on the internet, because the fucking internet doesn't give a fuck. They're like, what? My woman? I'll kill you. So everybody was on his ass. On his ass. Everywhere. And so he's like leaning into it. He must get off on it. I don't know. There's nobody leans that hard into this unless they're ejaculating from it. It's all I know. Crazy how the Brazilian free gender, I see ya. Crazy how that Brazilian creator disappeared from YouTube. Wonder if his marriage will survive all the drama. I don't think call it a hunch. I don't think that guy's married. You know, with his 3,000 notches and that. Yeah, Brazilian dude. I still laugh at that, man. John Anthony getting booted from YouTube, having a temper tantrum. It's like, oh. Like, bye. Nobody remembers your content. Nobody liked your content. There was a couple malcontents, but that was it, man. Frankly, being the ride or die seems like a good way to get a guy to sign on to being a stepdad. Better than my stepdad got. Well, see, that's what I mean. A lot of stepdads don't get that. If it was girls acting rational going, dude, I got 3 kids, 3 dads. I don't even know if that's true. I'm just saying it. 3 kids, 3 dads, and I want to lock this guy down. The best way I can think to lock him down is to be the perfect wife. And he's like, wow, it's the perfect wife. Is that the worst thing on earth? Oh my God. Because my woman wants to keep me and she knows her options are limited. She's decided to act perfectly just the way I like her. Oh, heaven forbid. Heaven forbid she makes a choice to treat you happily. Yeah, but you don't understand. She's not, and it always boils down to, she's not like a 18-year-old virgin treating me perfectly. She's just a normal woman with normal things treating me perfectly. This is bullshit. And you're like, I don't know what to tell you, man. I am thinking you're one of those guys that just does not want to be happy. Look, I'm as anti-single mom as the next guy, but they're out there. And in general, we have like a gender parity in the national demographics. It's about as many men as women. Not in Canada. Turns out we're like worse than China right now, by the way. 1.25 to 1. For every 5 men out there, there's 4 women in Canada. Take a guess why that's the case. Take a guess. I gave you 3 guesses. I'll give you 3 guesses, and one of them shits on the street. Hey, Ishtavarna got it. Yep. We keep importing all the guys over here, and that's why it's like, and just go to any citywide event in Toronto. Oh my God, you'll see it. It's like a sea of men, and you're like, Jesus Christ, man. It's like 100,000 people at a sausage party. It's brutal. Anyway, so we're going on here. Oh yeah, the ride or die bitch and that. But they always focus on these like abstract statistics and that. Look, man, if you're dating a girl over 30, the chances of you not getting a divorced or single mom, pretty much nil. Well, just date 20-year-olds. That's true. There is not enough 20-year-olds for everybody, though. Somebody is going to be left holding the bag. Is it such a bad thing if if they're like just having a good go of it anyway? If you want to look at it practically, there's a lot of guys out there that are ugly. And I don't mean this to like shit on them, but I mean like ugly, inside, outside, whatever. And this is the best they can do is an ugly girl. But there's not enough ugly girls. Some of the ugly girls learn that trick of like, oh, if I cook for my man every day, he'll stick. And the guy's like, you know what, she's not the prettiest, but God damn it, she's not the prettiest to me. So these single moms, and there's a lot of them that are like, they were stunners, but they got knocked up. And now it's like stunning gets dropped down. It's like, you know what? I have a solution. I'm gonna temper my expectations, get a mid, and be happy with that. And like, oh fuck, win-win. All you have to do is pay the $250,000 it takes to raise a child. Occasionally hear the "fuck you, you're not my stepdad" speech, and you get a baddie. Is it the worst thing for them? I don't know. Yeah, they do have each other's back. So I'm like riding this optimism train. But but online, man, it's just like toxic. Now it's everybody's yelling at him. She's yelling at everybody. Lesbian chicks are signing up for this too. Dude, I can't wait to get this middle-aged chain-smoking Orthodox bro to yell at me. Sign me up. I'll bring a sweater vest because that makes me look smart. By the way, I got my asshole on OnlyFans. $5. You got it. Oh, free gender, $5 1 cent super chat. Dude, I love that meme. If they would only import 20-year-old women, they'd be building the wall by hand. Yeah, I think the way the meme goes is if the only women, or if we only mass immigration, if we'd only import thin, hot, Asian, Indian, and Latino women, American women would like join the SS overnight and build the wall or something like that. It's fucking funny, man. It's true though. Single moms are usually just happy they're getting out of the house. Yeah, there's that too, right? But we had this conversation a year ago. We had this conversation 2 years ago. He was yelling about the pickle jar. Oh, before that it was Destiny yelling at him for this thing or the other thing. Oh, but Destiny was sucking a dick before. Oh, now what's he doing? That chick that's suing him for, what's it called? Revenge porn or whatever? I guess he released a bunch of her nudes on his Discord channel, and I'm just like, these people, man. No discretion at all. But I guess he's just following her around, harassing her like an Indian dude would. And I'm like, Jesus, man, what are we doing here? But it's the same thing. It's like the Watchmen meme. It's 2025. Destiny is harassing women and yelling at everybody who will listen. Andrew Wilson yelled at a lesbian and then the internet dropped down on him. It's 2025. Andrew Wilson's wife is yelling at people to leave her man alone. It's 2025. Andrew Tate said something that's kind of true but did it the worst way possible and everybody gets mad at him. It's 2025. A Christian, traditional conservative woman is doing something to own the libs but just makes her look like a feminist anyway. Oh yeah, that's the other one. I don't know how I got there. And this goes to show you how crazy online is. Do you remember, like, there's history. Did you know high heels were like for men? Men. Why'd we get it? Because if you were shooting arrows off your horse, it was too easy to fall off the saddle, break your fucking neck. You know, rip Superman. Superman the Archer, not going to make it. So what they would do is they found if they put heels on their shoes, that it was keeping them on the horse, they could fire arrows, kill more people. Bunch of royalty people in France, I think, saw this, like, dude, that's awesome. So what happened? Guys are like, dude, I am a mercenary archer badass. They put on heels. It's like the equivalent of guys that wear those, like, the beard and the tactical gear, but they're just like, I never served. I just like the look. Makes you look like a badass soldier. So guys walk around in high heels, trying to show off the original stolen valor. Here's the funny part of that, though. Chicks started seeing this. They're like, dude, fuck these men. And they started wearing high heels now to show off. I'm just as bad as the guys were. This is like the 1500s, mind you, or 1700s. So we're not talking about feminism in the 1960s with birth control. It was like fucking medieval chicks. Fuck you guys, I'll wear my high heels. And then guys were like, oh, the chicks are wearing them, fuck this. And then they threw their heels out, and then the girls got heels. And we've been iterating on that cycle for the last 500 years. I almost joined the military, but I didn't want to go off on the drill. Oh man, I always laugh at those ones. I didn't want to go off on the drill sergeant. It's like, dude, put yourself in that situation. You're not being yelled at by a drill sergeant. You're being yelled at by the big green machine. The drill sergeant is just the conduit of that mighty force. You're sleep deprived. You're surrounded by people who's got his back and not yours. He's got a prison. He's got MPs. So when he yells at you, yeah, I'll fuck that guy. Like, I wish you luck, sir. And wasn't it for their ass to stick out as well? It's a side effect. What happened next? Pants. Guys stopped wearing dresses, started wearing pants. Like, dude, pantaloons and stockings are awesome. They're manly as shit. Guys would walk around with pink stockings, pantaloons, which are like those big, like hammer pants, basically. Strutting around, high heels. Are like, I'm like, that's a real man. And then women are like, oh, I can wear pants too, because they want to ride a bicycle. Because only men ride bikes in this town, lady. I'll wear pants and ride a bike if I want to. And now guys are like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm wearing jorts. This is bullshit. Girls are riding bikes with high heels, have pants on. Then smoking. Guys are going to war. They're like, here, man, here's some nicotine. It'll keep you going. They get back. They're like, I'm hooked. Fuck it. And then girls are like, they literally had a cigarette campaign of like, you can't tell them, a man can't tell you what to do. Smoke because fuck you, dad. And girls were like, yeah, fuck rights. Let's get some lung cancer. Women took smoking. They got thin. They made pink cigarettes that cost 30% more. And then guys are like, yeah, fuck this, man. This is smoking. All the girls are smoking now. Women are the smokers now. Drinking. They took drinking. Guys were binge drinking in college. Guys were alcoholics in their 40s. What happened? It popped up in my Substack. I've been doing some extra Substack essays because I have some downtime because I'm finished Softbone 2's third draft, thank God. And there was the rise of binge drinking among young women. And it was an article that they wrote in 2000, like 11 years ago, 2014. Where it used to be women would start with like wine and beer. And then they'd slowly move up to like wine coolers and then maybe... But it was like very moderate drinking. And they weren't the binge drinkers. But then, man can't tell me what to do. They instantly start off with like tequila shots. And so they start at hard liquor. And then they move into hard liquor. And then it turns out women have become... This is 10 years ago. This is not today. The predominant alcoholics. They were outdoing men in binge drinking and alcoholism. Go team woman. Feminism solved all the problems. So it's been, again, 10, 11 years. So those girls that were like 23, 24, 25, 26, They're now like 35 to 40. And they got priggers. And they have kids now. And I don't know how I fell into this rabbit hole. I think I engaged with one of them. Probably some fuck trophies for clout things. I saw a chick parading her baby around. And all of a sudden, there is a dearth of fresh moms breastfeeding, getting their drink on. And I was like, oh my God. Like, doesn't that get into the breast milk? And here's the thing. Here's how I know they're functional alcoholics. They had a copy-pasted, well-prepared answer. What'd you say to me, little bitch? I'll have you know it exits the milk the same as the blood alcohol content, and it's this, and sometimes a drink. It was like, if you've ever lived with an alcoholic or known a drug user, like their justifications, like, oh, it's just one. I could stop at any time. It's fine. I learned about pump and dump, which is so funny. Like, when I hear pump and dump, I think a very specific thing. When girls say it, basically they're like, it's just milk all that booze out of the system. Just squirt it out and get out of here. And then the alcoholic's like, you don't even need to worry about that. It exits the same as it does for the thing. And you're like, holy shit. These girls are basically developing a system whereas they can get their drink on and still feed their kids. Now, I noticed, though, that nobody said, oh, I just use formula when I'm getting drunk. Because then they're fucking hard. There's no way they're not. Which explains... And then you're like, what's with this rise of autism and depression amongst kids nowadays? I'm like, did you ever wonder why there were so many ads saying don't smoke while pregnant? I always thought they were like, who needs to know that? And it turns out a lot of chicks are fucking addicts. Addicts, man. One of the women's cigarette brands is even called Vogue. Yeah. Free Gender 930, $5 2-cent super chat. I love it when Andrew Wilson defends smoking. He literally said it was safer for America to be thin with cancer than fat without. Oh my God. See, now, like, this shit bothers me. My dad actually died when I was 17 of lung cancer. Or emphysema, I guess it was. Or is it emphysema? It's the one that's not the... Oh, that's eczema. So yeah, emphysema. Oxygen tank, whole works. A very horrible way to go. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. And then my uncle caught the same diagnosis a year after my dad died. And he decided, like, nah, I'm not going out like that. I'll save you the story. Pretty horrific too. But, yeah, and so I'm like, I'm of the age where I remember people dying of smoking. And when I see idiots like this, I go, oh, it's fine. It's like, no, it's not, man. And I get the hyperbole. It's like secondhand smoke will kill you. One cigarette doesn't matter. It's enough. Like, I understand. The 2 packs a day guys are going to get cancer. I have a cigarette when I'm in a foreign port, or I have a cigarette once on the weekends kind of thing. Like, if you have, like, my girl was one of those casual smokers where she only ever smoked when she went to the bar, but then we started dating. She didn't really go to the bar much. And so there'd always be a cigarette pack in my house, but it was like dried out and nobody used it anymore. Like, throw that shit out. So, like, I get that is a different thing, but that's not what he's talking about. It's like, smoke yourself thin, it's fine. I'm like, dude, no, it's not. I mean, believe me now, hear me now, believe me later. Like, I don't know what problems Ozempic has, but if it's half as good, like if it's only half as bad as smoking is for keeping you thin, I'd say go with Ozempic. Get those Chinese peptides down your system. You know, how about doing research on this, dude? And I'm not going to do it anymore. I know enough and I'm confident enough about it, but you do research, you're like, yeah, the mortality rate of smoking was pretty dismal. Pretty dismal. I don't know how it compares to fat, but just stop eating, man. You don't have to smoke. But whatever. Thank you for the super chat, Free Gender. You see where I'm going with this, though? It's all cycles. It's all cycles. And women are... I don't know why, man. It's like they used to put radium on jewelry, which is like radioactive, and chicks were dying of cancer from it. Like, yeah, but it's so pretty. I don't know what it is. It's like the base instinct of women is anything to tell a man to go fuck himself, and to show that I can survive cancer is like, I got this shit. I don't know. Yeah, see, you're providing solutions. I don't really care about solutions. The point is, like, it's all the same. Do you think at any point we're going to stop having chicks just doing shit to piss guys off? No. They were doing it in the medieval times. Woman, take off my high heels and take my pantaloons off and take those stockings off and get back in the kitchen. It's like, fuck you, Dad. I'm going to go ride a horse. Like, It's all the same as we got now, man. There are conversations on TV from like Esther Villar and Herb Goldberg and Paul Elam and Karen Strawn and Jessica Valenti and all these random names of like, they got to be in their 80s now, feminists and men's rights advocates and playboys and all this stuff, and they all just, it's all the same shit. And even now, so I'm on Substack, if you don't know. I do case studies and field reports, like guys who were essentially in the red pill like 8, 9, 10 years ago. I put up a lot of their field reports to show guys why field reports are important, how people apply red pill in a practical sense in their own lives, and the good, the bad, and the ugly, essentially. And it does well. It does pretty good. You know, you hit your peak, kind of slows, I hit a thing. I need to expand the audience. And so if you want to expand the audience, what's the easiest way to do that? Fucking gender slop. And I'm like, and I just want to write cyberpunk. I want to write cyberpunk. I have an idea of a Western in my head that I want to write. I have a sequel to Dog Walker I want to do, about a couple that takes a road trip to Mexico on like a first date. It's going to be awesome. And there's all this great stuff. But, you know, to sell fiction, you have to have an audience. And to have an audience, you got to post gender slop. So I'm like, all right, let's do it. And the reason I'm so good at it is not because I'm, oh, wait, here, free gender. Have you read Something's Missing yet? I haven't seen anything of yours that I'm missing so far. Oh, a second. No, I've caught everything. So whatever it is, the thing's hiding it. Just do your best to try and get it in here. I'll read it if I see it. Oh, the gender slop. Yeah. So it's very easy because you just wait. You wait till some feminist says something, and then you immediately got your pipeline. Just go back to the red pill stuff from like 2012, and you'll see the exact same thing. So the most recent one was this chick talking about, my boyfriend is red pill and it ruined my life or something like that. And some other chick named Helen wrote a thing on it. If you don't know, this is every 6 months. Let's get here. Sit down. Pour yourself a coffee. Unc is going to tell you the story about what happened in the grand old days of 2012, aka when you were 6. Oh, have you read Something's Missing yet? Oh, the book. I get it. No, I have not read it yet. It's on my list. I haven't had a chance to do any reading of anything, so my Kindle list is like a long list, but it's there. I'll get to it. I'm spending too much time writing, not time reading. Anyways, so she writes this thing, and it's the original meme was like, every man should know the red pill will kill you inside. There's always some variation of it. That was the most popular one. Came out 12 years ago. And that's how this article worked. It was, hi, I'm 27. So chick had baby rabies. I'm 27 now. I'm turning 30. I'm not getting any younger. I'm with my boyfriend of 4 years. And then they'll always do some weird shit. It's like, he said he wanted to marry me, but it's been 4 years. And he keeps telling me like I have to do stuff. I have to be a better wife to marry him. And then she'll bring up, 4 years ago, he used to watch like Andrew Tate and he talked about eggs at 30. And they always slip that in there. You got to slip that in there just to establish like, this is bad guy. You're not supposed to like him. I'm the victim. You're supposed to like me. It's once you understand the game, you can't not see it. So here's the thing though. You read it and she was just like, I want to get married. I want to have a family. I'm not getting any younger. And he isn't marrying me on my timeline. And he keeps having expectations. And then they'll slip in little things like, by the way, he's rich. But when he met me, I was an educated graduate from I always like these flexes, a baby Ivy League. It's like, it's not Harvard. It's like Harvard Junior. It's like, what does that mean? State college? Like, what are you talking about? But no, they want the flex. I love reading FemSlop. What was the other one? Oh, a budding career. I had a budding career when he retired me. It's like, what the fuck is a budding career? Just say you're on as an intern. A budding career. I could have been earning a fortune. It's like, no, you couldn't. I know exactly what this one is. She got on at Deloitte or some shit as a junior analyst. She started sleeping with the director. The director decided to date her, fucking retired her. He earns all the money. He's rich and whatever anyway. And now she wants to hook him for a baby. And he's like, I'm not ready yet. And she's having an existential crisis over it. Tale as old as time, of which there is many solutions. There is, oops, I forgot the birth control. There is, have a cry moment until he fucking buckles. There is just like, fucking, why don't you just chill the fuck out? Because maybe you're just being a neurotic mess and things will happen anyway. Which usually one of those three things works, or he just leaves her anyway. And then she writes how all the red pill guys ruin the thing. So what does this have to do with an Andrew Tate podcast? Nothing. She slipped that in for sympathy points. And then the critique underneath it is this Dr. Helen something or other. Just so you know, abuse and manipulation are not good and men are evil and fuck that guy. And I'm like, oh man, this is great. Because I don't even have to write it. So I just like, type in the every man should know thing. And then you just pull up all that. So like, every man should know why the red pill will kill you inside. And it was just because men, and the article of that one was just because women treat men bad, and they acknowledged all of like the whammon ain't shit things. Just because that's the case doesn't mean you have to respond by also being bad. Why can't you just be nice to everybody? To which I was like, what the fuck is this? Anyways, and then a bunch of guys, and you'll see, like, the hard part is you see the retorts, and it's mostly autism that start talking about stats and shit. I'm like, I don't care about that. But the one I latched onto is, I can't remember who wrote it. I always say Whisper or Archwinger. It's probably one of them, but it was kind of a point that, like, so what are we doing here? Like, she's a helpless victim in this. She can't make a choice. She's stuck with him and the example there was a girl for like 8 years, and she was worried the guy didn't want to settle down. She's like, what are we doing here? She could have left at any time, but she didn't. So clearly she likes being there. She thinks whatever she's getting is worth it. She's just crying because she can't get everything. So that was the angle I took. It's like, well, I mean, I feel bad for this chick. That's horrible. I mean, and they keep throwing emotional abuse out, and I'm just like, I'm of the mind that if you have to use an adjective for your abuse, it's probably not abuse. At the very least, it's not criminal abuse. It's nothing you'd want to call the cops over. And I think there's a difference between abuse in a legal definition and abuse as in something that makes me feel horrible. There's clear differentiation. But women are very good at like, no, they're about the same. And even when they say, well, it's not quite elevated to that level, but it's the same thing. It's like, no, it's not. One of them puts you in jail. One of them makes you cry. That's a big gap. Yeah, Briffelt's law. It's near impossible. Yeah, that's it. But that was my thing. And so there's a rhetorical thing you use where you repeat yourself as you're doing things in like the end. So I'll say, yeah, it sucks. She did this, she retired this. And I'm like making like your standard MRA talking points to it without stats, because I don't like stats, because you're trying to tell a story here. And then you end, but that doesn't really matter. Do women have agency or not? You know, yeah, but he did this and he watched the Andrew Tate podcast, and what does this have to do with anything? And I'm like, but that's not the point either. Are women adults or children? Like, do they have agency or not? And then of course, yeah, it's like she's not getting any older. The egg carton thing is absolutely true, but none of that matters. Does she have agency or not? And I already know. I'm like stirring the hornet's nest with this one. And lo and behold, I caught some bait. Which sucks because I actually lost a mutual out of this one. There's this chick, Emily in Paris. And here's how I know this bait works. Because when women read that, when they read the gender slop, they're not looking at it the way a guy looks at it. We look at it thinking, this girl, 4 years relationship, watched Andrew Tate or whatever, and now she's mad at her boyfriend. We look at it objectively. Is somebody doing something shitty to the other person? To what level is it shitty? And does the other person have the ability to get out of it? If it was a case that he chained her to the radiator, then yeah, most guys would be like, yeah, fuck that guy. So let's put him in the wood chipper. But it's the case that like, you're with a rich guy, he doesn't want to settle down with you, and you're very mad he doesn't want to wife you up. You'll live. Or you could always just leave and go back to your budding career as an analyst. So we're very unsympathetic to it. But women look at it, and they look at it solipsistically? I don't know what the proper pronunciation would be for there. Whereas a guy puts himself in the other person's shoes. I'm the guy, what is he doing? I'm the girl, what is she doing? Oh, okay, I understand the thing. Girls do it with solipsism. They pretend that everybody is wearing their shoes. They are not looking at Nancy in the story and Bill with the podcast. They are looking at it like them and their piece of shit ex-husband. not even necessarily objectively. If they left their ex-husband, if their ex-husband cheated on them, they will invent fan fiction of how he was an abusive asshole. He's never abusive. It's always financially abusive, emotionally abusive, lovingly abusive. You know, all those wonderful adjectives that elevate bullshit to the point of abuse. And so when I'm like talking with her and she's yelling and screaming and I'm like, oh, okay, I get what this happened. Like I clearly know there was a case in her life where she assumes that she was emotionally abused or whatever, and now she's venting it using this as a proxy. So I'm like, that's cool. There's only one solution to this. First off, don't take the bait. Like I was just telling you guys an hour ago. You know, when that wife's yelling, it's only an argument if both of you yell. And of course her name's Emily in Paris, so I'm like, doucement, s'il te plaît. Doucement means like relax, chill. Douce, smooth, soft. Doucement, s'il te plaît. And they're like, yeah, this stuff's all fine. I get it. I don't disagree with you on this, but I mean, is she an adult or not? Is she allowed to make choices or is she not? She got fucking mad and yelling. And I already know most of these conversations, like the Andrew Wilson thing that I was talking about half an hour ago, or this one now, they're not for me. They're not for her. We're not trying to convince each other of everything. She is processing emotional trauma in her head, and I am soapboxing to the audience. So what am I supposed to do in this situation? Same thing I did with what's her face, the erudite chick, when we went on and did our little podcast together. Same thing I did with the fat chick with the knockers, the scurvy rates what? God damn, I can't remember her name. Or the feminist chick Emily, or any of them. Your job here is to show yourself as an affable, polite, normal, even-tempered human being. Be fucking normal. So I'm like, all right, yeah, you know, chill out. She's like, oh, you come in here punching the teeth and your answer is basically, oh, fuck that bitch. I'm like, I never said that. You brought that with you. Does she have agency or not here? And then so she freaks out. So I get a bunch, like a fucking load of new followers, and that's the gender slop cycle. And it's annoying because, like, I will tell you guys I'm doing it. I flat out have been telling people for a week, hey, don't take this personal. I'm posting some gender slop stuff. We're going on a recruiting drive. I'm really fucking good at it. And she was one of them. She's like, oh, whatever. You guys shouldn't do that. I would rather write about cyberpunk, but nobody signs up to read cyberpunk. Not unless they already know you. Her and a couple other girls are like, all right, whatever you say. I don't like that stuff. I'm like, right. Post the gender slop. They're all in there like fucking, pigs at the trough. And the one's getting mad. The other one kind of, okay, I get the game. She's like, yeah, you know what? I kind of agree on this, but this is wrong. I'm like, yeah, probably. It's all the same. It's all the same. And that's the point. I don't have to reinvent the wheel. I don't have to think through these things anymore. All of this stuff has been done to death. And I'm not even going to like source material. Chesty schools me on a regular basis when I'm like acting all fucking clever here. It's like, oh yeah, the every man should know kill you thing. Here's a thing from 12 years ago. He's like, oh, that's cool. And then he pulls out like a fucking book, blows the dust off. He's like, back on the Usenet. Back to when they used to just email things on a newsletter from a printing press in somebody's garage, and he pulls out a thing from Dr. Whoppity Splash. This was in 1963. I'm like, fuck me. He's like, yeah. This ain't new. This ain't new at all. OnlyFans girls have tit slop. Red pill guys make gender slop. We make it good too. Dude, I'm the guy who like salts his cookies. Like it's like, holy shit, I didn't realize how good that was. It's good. A lot of new ones in there. A lot of guys will go into your DMs like, and they'll start like, you said it, man. I was fucking thinking of it. I'm like, all right, whatever. Stick around and don't get me wrong. I know it's like horrible, but I'm honest. I don't tell people I'm doing anything different. I don't pretend. I'm like, this is a character. This is an act. This stuff is slop. If you want real stuff, I do real stuff too. The real stuff's right there. And of the 10 guys that'll come and find slop, maybe 2 will stick around for something useful. Maybe 1 will actually buy a book. I'm fine with that funnel. I'm fine with that. I've come to learn, even with when I was doing the workshop on Patreon and here, of the 500 or so guys that sign up to it, maybe 25 to 50 use it at all. Most of the other guys are just there to watch and learn and stay quiet. They don't want to engage. They don't want to use. So where we would normally do like consults, talk to a guy, deal with this stuff, it's a very frustrating experience. You have to charge a lot of money because of your time. And then you realize, 90% of these guys don't do shit. It weighs on you. You're like, what the fuck am I doing here? I took a different approach. I'm like, you know what? Instead of charging $500 a pop for guys and then have 90% of them do nothing, let's just drop that by 90%. We'll make it up in scale. So instead of one guy borrowing 1 hour of your time for $500, you have 100 guys borrowing an hour of your time for $5. And 90% of the guys don't use it well or at all. And I'm fine with that, because the 5 guys that do it well and do engage with it are the feedback mechanism. Okay, things are happening. There's effects happening here. Things are working. And that's good. It's kind of how you got to do it. But at the same time, too, it's also good for them because, normally these guys would have probably paid $500 an hour to do this stuff one-on-one. Absolutely. But why not just do it for $5 and put up with having a little bit of a peanut gallery audience? You'll never know they're there. It's fine. They're like, I'll take it. Sure. So it's great. And I'm sure I could do private equity shit where they like maximize the cost of this, that, and they're like, I don't care. Like, we can always use money, but I'm not about to go spending so much time to find out what's the best way to siphon his. I'm like, what we got now is good. It works. And I'm not about to go fucking tweaking it to get an extra 20 cents out of people. Fuck that. Yeah, the good old rug pill when you tell them no one's coming to save them. I have got such a good episode, by the way. Speaking of that, Nuke, Red Hawk's coming back. I think not next week, because I'm gone next week, but the week after that. Oh, we're the rug pull episode. It's gonna be so good. We don't do politics. I try not to do them at all, but with him, we always have our let's fucking end a bit. It's fun. And from what I can tell so far, our topic is, I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed. He's disappointed with Trump. I'm disappointed with Poiliev. And it's just like, get out of the way. It's like, his big thing was like, Charlie Kirk, man. Losing him, we really lost like a lot of the, like the boomers. The boomers really needed him around. And I'm like, fair enough. With ours, it's kind of like that. RSEJ9ZP with a $5 super chat. Good morning, Couch. Good morning to you too, sir. Is that really the username you picked? Dear God, man. Thank you. We've already done the you know what? We've already done Jack, but I have an idea.
It's Ryan Stone, another fucking faggot. Socially retarded faggot, okay? He's a halfway decent looking guy, a nice smile. He can be a gentleman. He's snarky as fuck, even in person. And you have to get through that wall because he puts a wall up. Yet he blocks me and talks shit about. Somebody find out their fucking real names for me and email me.
That's right, full slur. I don't know who's doing real zero. I'll check at the end here. Oh, where's my time? How am I doing? Oh, we're good. We're good. Still good for time. Anyway, so off of that, it's letting you guys know what's coming up in the future. Back to the thing here. Yeah, so the slop. And I guess I can see there being a time limit to this, because after a while, it's like Cypher. I don't even see the code anymore. It's just blonde, brunette, redhead. The arguments are all the same. The retorts are all the same. The takeaways from it are all the same. At this point, it's just like, who has the better memory, you know? Oh, it's Ross the Skunk on different devices. Gotcha, sir. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Look at that. Number 3 with a crown. I think I'm going to enjoy what they're doing with that one. Yeah, so it's all the same thing. You're probably going to get in the future. What would be next after the everyman should know thing? I'd have to go look again. I bet you anything what I could do is just go through a reverse chronological order and see what the most popular posts are after the topic du jour. And I could probably like almost guesstimate what's coming next. I might do that if I have time. Not next week, but the week after, because I'm on vacation. But like, how funny would that be if you're essentially driving the train because you already know the destination? I think I would laugh. How's he always got his finger on the pulse? Yeah, it's a fucking Scooby-Doo miracle. Funny thing too about the gender slop stuff is, and I think Archwinger did a really good one too. He's good at it. I do that with tweets. That's so fucking funny. Should we do a Happy Days thing or should we do Friends? It's the fall. I think Happy Days because the parents are sitting at home relaxing. We'll do Friends and Christmas when the kids are back home. Super cyclical. Yeah, Starship Troopers, the real enemies, the real friends were the bugs we made along the way. But you see what I mean? And now that it's like kind of known, it's going to get gamified and it's going to get stale and somebody's going to try and reinvent things and it's never really going to work. But and the point of this is for you though. So you see, I've been talking about two things. I talked about a real practical situation that guys wanted to know and they wanted to handle, and it made their personal lives better in just that little way, which made a huge difference. Just not having to worry about yelling at your wife and having her yell at you every day is a huge thing. And if you think that's not, well, like, I would rather get laid, it's like they're connected. When you guys aren't at each other's throats 24/7, you have freed up a bunch of time to put a little game out, tease your wife a little bit. Some of the angry guys even figured out, dude, now that I'm not reacting to all the time she's yelling at me, I get to yell at her from time to time, rile her up, and then let it go. And then fucking great sex right after that. It's like, yeah, that's push-pull, man. I know everybody thinks of push and pull as like buy her flowers and nag her. Sometimes just having a fucking all-out brawl with your wife and then having make-up sex afterwards. It's a thing. Is it the thing you want to do every time? No. I mean, maybe you have that level of tolerance. I don't. But it's a tool. It's a tool you have. And if you know your wife loses her shit once a month on dumb shit, that just lets you know every 3 weeks, I'm going to pick a fight over nothing because I'm not invested. I'm not taking it personally. She'll take it personally. It's like the gender slop thing. How dare you? You vote fucking emotional abuse. Oh, the chick sent me an article, by the way, too. Here, you don't seem to understand. You just keep punching me in the teeth or something. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Here's a guy who describes emotional abuse perfectly. Some random Substack article. I click it. I can't see it. I'm like, why? And I go to the author and it's like, the author's blocked you. Oh, I kind of laughed. This is how you should understand this stuff. Oh, this guy hates me. If we do Happy Days, you're going to do Joni Loves Chachi? Look at you. You're letting your boomer power levels come out. Next thing you know, we're going to start reminiscing about Fantasy Island and Gilligan's Island. Like, which was the better island? The Zoomers are like, what the fuck is he talking about? Oh, imagine like Love Island, but run by the devil. That's like, that was the episode with a midget. That dude, the plane boss, the plane. It's pretty funny. Serialized 80s TV was pretty wild, man. But you see what I mean? You can turn it on. You can turn it on. You can turn it off. You can be proactive with it, not reactive with it. And then you realize it's a surrogate for everything that we're doing here. I'm not living life. I'm letting life happen to me. And that's why life sucks, because everybody else is a fucking retard. And nobody else knows what they're doing. And they're just flying off of emotions. And you're letting them run things. And they're running in their own best interest, which they're not very good at anyway. So of course you're getting screwed. Of course life is shit. Well, you're just telling me to work out, bro. That's part of it. Part of it. That's like, how much agency do you want to have in your life? Do you want to be that chick bitching about the rich husband or the rich boyfriend and the Andrew Tate podcast? Is that what you want to be? Yeah, but these bitches, man. How is that any different? The only difference is you don't have a middle-aged mom yelling shit at you. You have a 23-year-old guy who can't get laid and possibly some foreign subversive accounts yelling at you. It's the same shit, man. It's fucking annoying. So yeah, you start making some little elements, like take control where you can. And the workout is the main one because it's the easiest. It's the easiest. It's the simplest one. It is the gatekeeper drug of all the others. If crack cocaine was you being red pilled, then working out is like the caffeine pills before study tests. You know what I mean? And you're like, what a horrible analogy. It is. And that's the point. This is all horrible. You should never be telling people you're ready. I am like a little league coach in the sense that I am smart enough to be good at being a little league coach, but I'm stupid enough to take being a little league coach seriously. And that is the exact kind of person you need to be in this. It's like Nuke. It's like Jack. You need guys who are both smart enough to be good at this and stupid enough to want to be good at this. And it is a very rare sliver of the population. There is him. There is Jack. There is Nuke. There's Rolo. There's Aaron. There's me. There's Cooper. That's it. That's it. Everybody else is just missing one of those key things. They're either too stupid to be a little league coach, or they're too smart to want to be a little league coach. There's no in between. That's why it's such a hard space to get into. The little league coaches of the internet. Fuck these guys. But hey, it works for you. You get to lean on it. And look, there's all kinds of autism. All kinds of autism. Because all of this stuff is like subtext. None of this stuff is obvious. These fights we're having and this stuff. I'm talking about subtext directly, which is a very autistic way of describing it. Horribly. I understand that. And two things. One, for guys who don't know it, having it explained like this helps them act with subtext. It's way faster and easier for a guy to learn it that way than to learn it by A/B testing subtext clues. Two, autists really like it because they have to like A/B test the human condition. There was Jack Tenneharts, the guy I talked about all the time on the Mids Watch episodes, called himself learned social or something like that, or socially retarded extroverter. I don't remember. But he was fighting with me at the time because, that's what we do. And he was saying I was a socially adept person who learned to be social because it just came naturally, which it's not true. Or I don't know, whatever. And his was, I am socially autistic and I had to basically learn it through trial and error. And he was explaining that as the difference between us. I'm like, I bet. So yeah, you're going to get some guys it's easier to learn when it's explained directly to you, which is awesome. Girls won't do it that way. Guys socially won't do it that way. We're kind of like in a little training area. We're in that little matrix room, with the white, all the guns on the sides. It's like that. Those guys do well. And then autists like, oh, so that's why I don't need to yell at my girl every time she mentions egg cartons. I get it now. So yeah, I appreciate my Dominican IQ. There's no way you have a Dominican IQ. Didn't you work on a nuclear ship? Weren't you a nuclear operator? I don't know, Nuke. Somebody mentioned that once before. I wasn't sure if it was true or not. But that's got to be difficult. I mean, yeah, it's just boiling water, but it's boiling water with science, man. That's not easy. Now, that's ionizing radiation. When I was working as a naval communicator, we were non-ionizing radiation. So it's kind of like I'm nuclear too, but you're like super nuclear, and I'm like non-cancer super nuclear. I'll talk about ionosphere, F1 and F2 layer amalgamations at nighttime, which frequencies to use to bounce a sky wave or a ground wave or shit like that. But he taught us to work with colors and numbers to make it easy. It was me. I spare no opportunity to tell people. I heard of this, a wonderful fictional man. You guys should have seen him. He came in riding on a horse, dressed up as some anime character from a video game that I'm too old to know about. Took him 45 minutes to put on the gear. Teaching people about nuclear stuff. Dancing flamingo dancing while holding the nuclear plans. Dressed as fucking Cloud from Final Fantasy. It's a magical man. And I'm like, wow, who is that black man? And then he turned to me. The crowd went silent. I had said the wrong thing. And he's like, not black, Dominican. And I was like, word. Actually, you have more radiation than me, I promise. Oh, I guarantee you. Just non-ionizing radiation. You joke, but it's basically that. Yeah, if you guys don't know when I'm talking about this, the ionizing and non-ionizing radiation. It's like the difference between how like nuclear stuff like kills you with nuclear poisoning, or a microwave can boil you. That's the difference. So like with my equipment, if I bumped it up to like 1200 watts, And they used to have stories of like where seagulls would fly along the ships, and if they ever got in front of the main dish or like a main antenna when we're sending a signal out at 1200 watts because we want to bounce a skywave across the earth with like 2 or 3 skips. Long story, but it's basically you can refract radio signals through the ionosphere and then bounce them off the ground and do it again, kind of like playing worms. And so we would do that. We were in Djibouti, which is on the eastern coast of Africa, and we bounced a skywave, like 3 bounces, to land in Halifax. So like halfway around the world. Pretty impressive shit. Nobody had done that in like decades. Our boss was like really switched on. He's like, you know what? I want this flex. This is like the equivalent of saying I sunk a U-boat. Like that's how cool that was. Point of that one was if you stood in front of the antenna when we were transmitting, that's it, man. Your kidney explodes. All the water inside you just boils. So yeah, it is dangerous and there's a lot of radiation. But if the power is at a normal level, you can stand in front of it and not feel a big deal. Spilling secrets on OTHA. I mean, these aren't really secrets. This is shit we learned in the 40s. This is how we communicated when we were fighting the Germans. Non-ionizing. Damn, Ryan knows ball. I told you, man. I'm not... Surprisingly enough, even though I had that horrible like espionage shit in the military, I was really fucking good at my job, man. I was the top... Every one of my courses, I was top student, except for my 5s course. And that is only because I was tied with another guy, and they liked him more than me. They're like, yeah, you're too cocky. You're not going to be top student. You can be number 2. I'm like, what the fuck is that? I was better at him than everything, though. And everything, too. Fleet maneuvering, SIG, even semaphore. Who does semaphore now? I do, motherfucker. But yeah, the equipment, all of it. Not that it matters, because they wanted to hire women. Oh, man. Okay, nothing to do with nothing. I am still laughing at this fucking story. We have a female chief of the defense staff, chief of the defense staff, our highest military person. I don't know what the equivalent is in America, but who's your, like, not the Minister of National Defense, or for you guys, the Secretary of Defense or Secretary of War, the highest general. And now we have this chick. I don't remember much about like what made her, but I know they groomed her for leadership and they paved the way. There was 30 of the top brass that got just booted from the military over like a Me Too witch hunt for stupid reasons. One guy in 1993 at ROTC, the military college, got drunk and mooned a bunch of students one day. And they used that as the excuse to kick him out because, you know, diversity has no place for misogyny. And like, what the fuck? This guy worked his ass off for 30 some years to get to his top echelon, fighting for the top spot. They're like, sorry, man, your fraternity is fucked. But so she eventually got to be chief of defense staff, and her big commanding position was in Iraq, or was it Afghanistan? No, Afghanistan. She was in Afghanistan, and there was a mortar attack on the base, or like a missile attack or something like that. It might be Afghanistan. I have to go look it up. It's Afghanistan or Iraq. And she abandoned her post. Oh, that's why it was Afghanistan, because there were battles in the thing and they were trying to leave. And so she ran, abandoned all of her troops, took her designer rug out of her place, and tried to get an airlift out of there from the Americans. We're under attack. I'm scared. Help. And the Americans are top general. And she was just crying on the news about, hey, I'm really sorry we took all this native land. I'm sorry we're racist. And I'm like, dude, do you think Russia's like, oh yeah, man, better run. The Canadians are coming and they're bringing their Panthers. God, I got out at the best time to get out. They stopped installing crotch zippers on the general's uniforms in the USA. Oh, that's funny. Dumber people than the IQ cells on X are operating billion-dollar equipment and harnessing the power of the sun because you wrote a small article trying to prove your intelligence. I always did laugh about that, the intelligence stuff. So when we were on our PLQ, which is like a leadership course, we were supposed to write a story. It was something to the effect of like some rah-rah propaganda thing. And the idea was teaching you military writing, and they would show you how to... Anyways, I had the audacity to use words in there that my instructor didn't know. She was a bitch too. This big Hungarian chick, like 6 foot tall, Helga kind of girl. And she has a thick accent still. She's like, I don't know what these words mean. You're making me feel stupid. And she fucking chewed me out in front of everybody because I wrote down a word that was too big for her to understand. And I was so confused on the whole thing. I got yelled at a lot in the leadership course, which is funny enough. Every time I got yelled at in that course, it was for being a good leader. Really good leader. Not that one. That one was just there. And it was funny because all the other people in the office, they kind of didn't like her either. And I've been in the teaching bullpen before, so I know the game where they're like, no, it's theater. We've unified front, us versus you. I get that. And then they're all turning, and I can see them turning around and laughing. I'm like, you sons of bitches. Anywho, here's a good example of good leadership. So we had, and the course, the days are long. It's like basic training 2.0. You're there at 5 a.m. You leave at midnight. You have all this work to get done. And there was this one point where we had to do lectures. So you were doing the main test to see if you could teach a course. And so everybody had their lecture topic and they had to give it out. I got yelled at because of mine, which I think it's because I used Call of Duty screenshots on it because I didn't have actual war footage in the DWAN, but whatever. Like, this is horrible. I'm like, fine. Text on page, done. Are you happy? Yes. Fine. My platoon was doing their things. I was in charge of the whole group at the time, the platoon, or I think squad. No, platoon. Yeah, squads were the small ones. We had 4 squads, 1 platoon. And everybody was doing their lectures. And then when they were done their lectures, you could sit down and listen if you wanted to, but everybody had the bright idea, why don't we just sit down in shifts? 10 of us will sit here, the rest of us will go and prep all of our stuff for the next day. Like, you had your kits, your locker inspections, any homework you had to do, all the PT, like there's all this peripheral stuff to do. So we were very efficient at it. I'm like, yeah, we just do this, you do the rotation. Everybody got everything done. And there was 5 speakers left. So that's like 5 more hours. And it was like 5 in the afternoon. Everybody had finished all of their work that was supposed to be there till midnight. Everybody had finished all their lectures except for the 5 people. I'm like, look, I'm making a call right now. Like, what do you mean? Everybody go home except for me because I got to stay there the night because I was the platoon commander. And then these 5 people, they'll finish theirs and then they go home after they're done. And everybody was scared. Like, we can't do that. It's like, why not? I have the authority. I checked the SOPs and I'm like, I got the authority to do it. I'll send them home. Like, really? You're not going to get in trouble? It's like, I'm authorized to. Everything is done. If you got nothing to do, don't do it here. And it was like, I had to kick people out. And I'm like, go home and see your fucking family. Sure enough, the next day, next day, dunk, 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 dunk. Those big Hungarian bitch shoes were fucking going down the thing. Get over here. SBO, get in the fucking office. Everybody was like, oh man, it sucks getting chewed up 15 fucking minutes. I didn't tell you to do this, you motherfucker, don't you dare. And behind her, man, this one dude I worked with, his name was Pichet. He didn't even try to hide. He's just laughing. I'm like, you fuckers. I'm standing at attention, heels together. How dare you take initiative and help your guys with some morale things. They need to be here and suffer because we made them suffer. And it's not my fault if you guys are too efficient. Call your shit. Anyways, finish the whole thing. I get out of that one. Everybody was sitting outside the doors just listening in. And they were all like horrified. They're like, and they walk like, dude, I'm so sorry. I should have stayed. I'm like, the fuck are you guys talking about? Like, what? Like, relax. I got chewed out for like 15, 20 minutes. How many hours did you just get with your families? They're like, I don't know. I was there for like an extra 7 hours, I guess. I mean, exactly. Do the math. Dude, I'll take that trade any day. Probably the greatest lesson I learned about leadership, by the way. Greatest lesson I learned about leadership. I like this Helga gal already. She was actually married. She was the wife, well, ex-wife now, of my boss when I deployed, Joe. Big Mr. Clean looking dude too. But he was like a man-child. He liked the girl that took over. But she eventually cheated on him and divorced him. Married a guy who looked exactly like him with a French accent. It was the fucking weirdest thing. But she was a bitch. And I'm not even saying this as in like she treated me like shit. I mean, she literally was a bitch. We had our parade that we do at the end of the ceremony. Friends and family and newspaper come there and get to look at the new group of leaders. And my girl was sitting in the front row. And she was listening. And she comes over to me after the parade. She's like, who is that big, tall, blonde bitch? I'm like, oh, that's Alex. And she's like, yeah. She was just talking shit about all of you. Every time you got up, she had something this and something that. And I was just like, yeah, that's how it works. Yeah. It was funny. She fucking lost it on me again during the parade because there's this polish you get. It's like a paint. and you can do like a patent leathering to your shoes. She got mad at me for that. You need to bring polished boots. I'm like, yes, PO. There's no regulation saying you have to. I picked it up in America. I'm like, fuck it. Everybody's like, man, you got to change your boots. I'm like, no. I'll bring my polished ones that are nice, and she can look at those for inspection. But I'm doing the parade. I'm wearing these ones. I don't want to have to sit here kicking the thing and scuffing my boots. Fuck that. But again, it's leadership. Check the boxes. All my chewing outs have been by women. Most of my chewing outs have been by women. There was her. There was this half East Indian lady. She was the biggest bitch in the fleet, though. Like, literally. The chiefs and POs even used to say it. Like, her peers even hated her. And the only other one, there was a gay guy I worked with. But he chewed you out because he loved his job. And he was really fucking good at his job. And he had no patience for mistakes. You get to make the one mistake. If you make the same mistake again, it's your ass. So he kind of chewed you out to force you to be better, which was nice. He was the one, if you read on my Substack, there's a story I have about the 2 gay military funerals. That was a story based on his funeral. He just passed away, I think, last year, which was surprisingly hard. Didn't expect it to go that hard. He was only late 50s, early 60s. Died of smoking. But he was really one of those bosses that everybody loved and made everybody better. Like, I'd met 5 different people from bases I had never seen before, and they all had the same story about how awesome he was. It was pretty cool. But it made me laugh because there was like he had 3 groups of people. He had his military people who acted a lot like women. And then he had his family, which was a lot of women there, acting very militant with their husbands. Hold the baby here, do this. And then there was a lot of his gay friends there who were like his family. So, like, I always thought that was engaging, where his gay friends were his family were the military, and the military were the gays. Yeah, men were very empathic. It was a shoulder grab and them telling me you need to do better, man. Oh, yeah, loudly telling me I need to do better. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't a kind shoulder grab. Anyways, I kind of got off on a tangent there. We're going to come back. We're coming back to things. A sec, I lost my time. There we go. But, I mean, there's a lot of things like this. And a lot of you guys have your own versions of these, like, very entertaining life lessons that you can pass on by swapping notes. And we all do. Of course, most people don't. Most people have boring lives, ineffective lives where they didn't have, like, great stories that they could tell over the mundane stuff in their life. And so when they get into the red pill and the manosphere, they just hop on the train and they are like 6-year-olds playing dodgeball. Somebody kicks the ball over this way. Oh, red pill boyfriend is an asshole. They fucking chase the ball and they start kicking it. Then they kick it over here. Oh, traditional conservative influencer is an asshole. Oh, and they kick it all down here. They talk about people. They talk about drama. And they all do it. Yeah, which hurt more? When getting yelled at and you just disassociate? It wasn't even so much disassociate. I don't want to make it seem like a trauma response, Nuke. It was more that, like, you understood it was theater. Like, a lot of the chewing out and the yelling stuff in the military is just military theater. And I've been on both sides of that. It's like, I'm not yelling at you because I'm mad at you. I'm yelling at you because I need you to feel bad so that you stop fucking up. I need you to feel bad. I need you to cry because then you're going to confess to everything and it saves us a lot of trouble in the summary trial. That was it. It's kind of one of the big lessons you had in the military. Dude, if they're trying to hammer you for something, just keep your fucking mouth shut. They are so bad at investigations in military that you will get off on anything, especially if you're innocent, but even if you're guilty. I saw guys get off of coke. I saw a guy got off on CP charges just because he kept his fucking mouth shut and the military fucked up the investigation so bad. The military police in Quebec did such a bad job. The military and the military police in the place usually have like this thing where they're like, you know what, you could be cops outside the base too. We'll have you on as like deputies. So they kind of get deputized. But in Quebec, they were so bad at their job. The Montreal police and the RCMP's like, yeah, no investigative powers outside of here. You give us what you want, and we'll send you back a thing. Don't touch nothing. It's fucking funny. AK $5 super chat. Based on how your stories go, I was half expecting you to describe funerals like they were straight people. The funerals were just very gay. No, man, the funeral was like really somber. It was pretty good. Like it's like one of those Catholic type funerals. But yeah, that was just the one thing I sat there. And a lot of my friends were from the coast, so they weren't there. So I didn't live stream it, but I kind of like, hey, this is what happened. This is how things went. They're like, oh man, it sucks. I couldn't have been there. It's like, hey, it was just lucky that he happened to live in Toronto when it happened. Yeah, it's not personal, it's just business. But that's a good red pill lesson for you too, by the way. The it's not personal thing. Same thing with the wife yelling at you. Sometimes it's not about you. You ignore tone, focus on content. And so when you're reading the gender stop, just look at that. Like, what's the actual content of this? For that one with the podcast girl, she was just neurotic and had baby rabies. That was it. And she wanted to vent. And then everybody's turning it into, he's abusive, you got to leave him, you got to arrest him, my ex-husband's an asshole. And they're throwing all of this shit onto a girl just had a mini panic attack because she had the craving for the ring and the babies. It's like, okay. If it's that important, she'll make moves. If it's not that important, then she doesn't really care. Let her have her moments. Military. Plenty of opportunity to weed out the pain intolerant. No need to enforce more pain. Relax. Military loves forced equity of pain. Result more pain than necessary. I mean, it's all necessary, Danger Agent. Because, like, I don't know if you know this, but we're not in the world wars anymore. We're not in even the global war on terror. I found my favorite global war on terror movie was not Hurt Locker, Jarhead. That scene where the guys are sitting there is like, finally I get to snipe somebody, and the military's like, yeah, just stand down. And like they couldn't move forward fast enough to do their job, and so it was like very frustrating how the military was like, why am I fucking here? That was the one that hit the hardest. I was like, Jesus, did they fucking know it? You join, you watch Full Metal Jacket to join, and you're like, yes, it's time to get into this. And you get there and you're like, oh my God, this is an office job with back problems. Steve in accounting, 213, $19.99 super chat. I am coming into my own, and it's easier to get a date now. The current girl wants exclusivity while with her because I don't screw around on people and expect the same. I enjoy her, but also want to enjoy this newfound status and options. Well, here's the thing, Steve. What can you control? You can't control what she does and what she doesn't do. And this is where that scarcity thing comes in. A lot of guys have that scarcity mentality. I really like her and I want to keep her around. It's like, first off, there's a lot of girls like her. Most girls are about the same. They fuck the same. They look the same. They act the same. When girls are on game, they're about the same. And that's fine. There's no problem with that. The same is pretty good. I know we give mid a hard time in here, but mid's not bad. Mid's good. Mid's a nice hearty bowl of ramen. So you can't change what she does. All you can do is just be honest with yourself. What is it you want? Well, I'm not gonna settle down. And so when she asks, like, what are we? We're having fun right now. Well, I want exclusivity. I understand. Well, you're not gonna be exclusive? Do you really want to know? Like, not really. No. And I understand, look, if you want to find yourself a boyfriend that settles down exclusivity, fucking fill your boots. I'm that guy you can have fun with until then. And I'm okay with that. And then, yeah, you'll lose her at some point. Or she'll stick around and decide it's a good deal and then write a Substack piece about, my boyfriend listened to Ryan on the internet and now I'm fucking scared because I'm 27. And then you get to be that fucking guy. I have a hard time feeling bad for people. If they wanted to, they would, you know? I know how Jack feels about it, but I was curious about your take. It's not even that it's my take. It's, first off, it's the red pill take. I always try to keep my own personal opinion out of the red pill stuff as best I can. Sometimes there's overlap, sometimes, but I always try to, like, if it's not a red pill one, I'm like, this is me, not red pill. But in this case, it's a pretty solid red pill one. It's just plate theory. It's a plate. Yeah, no, I like what we have. I am perfectly happy with it, and I'm not going to lie to you. I want to settle down. I want to be exclusive. I'm not ready for that. I don't want that. Maybe there's something you're looking for. I don't like those either because those kind of have like a very stringing along thing to it. It's not stringing along. No, it's a choice. Look, if you want to find yourself a husband, fucking fill your boots. I'm not going to get in the way. But while you're waiting, you know, let's go get something to drink. Oh, was Jarhead Gulf's Desert Storm? Okay, that makes sense then. Yeah, both got to take it when the ladies had options. Now I've got options. Yeah, you got options now. You want to excise your options. I will say this, Steve. Don't be that guy that does what like they used to do back when everybody had calls. Where it's like you call like all the Manosphere influencers until one gives you the answer you want to hear. Because I know, like when I see these, I don't know if this is you, but most guys when they talk like this, what they want is, I want you to tell me a way that I can manipulate this girl into wanting to stay with me, but not wanting exclusivity. How do I tell her to be in my harem? How can I convince her? How can I manipulate her? And it's like, you can't. You can't. She has to opt in on her own. Be honest. Because that's the thing, too. If you're honest about it, A, You're not seeking validation from her. I'm dishonest with her because I want her to act a certain way. It's like you're supposed to be above wanting shit from people. You don't need her validation. So you be honest. And she'll decide, okay, that's fine, or no, it's not okay, and it's not fine. And you're like, okay, I understand. And here's the thing, too. You'll find a lot of girls, they'll say, like, I'm not okay with this, and they pull a fucking snit, and they leave. They come back. Because it was fun, and they like being with you. How do I keep falling in love with these men that aren't available? I mean, it's because you like what's unavailable. So it's like, you kind of want this. Like, don't get me wrong. For me, when I settled down, it wasn't even really this shit is autistic sounding to me. We never really had a choice. Even then, like when we had our chat, when we first started dating, it was kind of like, let's give it a shot. It's like 30 days or something. And it was like, I was so hungover. If I wasn't hungover, I wouldn't even have said that. It would have just been like, not kicked her out when I left the house. Yeah. Dark Knight Dev, $10 super chat. I've made $90K this year. My first year driving buses, and I live in my aunt's house in New York City. The houses around me are $750,000 minimum. It is better to improve this house than buy a new one. Dude. You know what hurts? You know what hurts? You know what really hurts? This fucking hurts. You're describing New York here, and this probably to you people sounds horrific. I'm in Toronto, and I'm like, dude, $750,000 minimum for a house? That's cheap. Damn, I'd buy one of those. Dude, Toronto's housing market is spiraling right now. Supposedly it's down like 30%, and it's still like 1.5 minimum with an hour drive outside of town. Inside town, it's like 2.5. It's fucking brutal. Yeah, 100,000 here is the new 50,000. It's crazy. But yeah, it is better to improve the house than buy a new one. To be fair, it's at the point now where like unless there's a housing crash, which there very well may be, or a lot of immigrants get kicked out. Like, what's the point of earning a $100,000 paycheck? Like, my girl's job's a 6-figure job. And like, at this point, if the cost of living here is so high that we're, just like scraping even, how is this better than living in buttfuck nowhere with a job at Napa Auto Parts and a $100,000 trailer? It's nothing really. You're still walking away check to check, right? I mean, we're not, but you know what I'm saying here? She's kind of for it. So we're like, the expatriation thing is still working. We're in process for that. States would be ideal, but on the off chance that doesn't happen, South America look like literal like passport bro couples. How funny is that? I'm not going there to get pussy. I'm going there to buy a house. Uruguay, Greece. Greece is doing better than France right now. How cool is this shit? And it's funny, for a lot of these places outside of the States and Canada, it's actually very easy to get a visa and a path to like permanent residency. I did not know this, but unless you're Indian, the hardest countries to get into are the States and Canada. It's just fucking crazy. You guys are talking about some Verso cosplay. I don't know what the fuck Verso is, but yeah, Dev. I mean, everybody's in this situation right now. It's somebody said it on Twitter. It was like a really perfect way of putting it. We've been in a recession for 2 years now. Just nobody noticed because we were too busy making money. He's like, yeah, actually, that's true. Which you're like, what? So like a lot of people got laid off and nobody was being hired to backfill. But the people that were still working are doing really well. But inflation has reduced the value of the really well that we're doing. And housing has gone off the rails completely compared to that. So everybody's doing really well, but the really well is not well enough to be okay. So I don't know it's like a fucking weird place. This must have been what the 70s felt like. Bitcoin's down 25%, buy now. Maybe. How do you know it's not going to go down further though? Like maybe it will, maybe it won't. A lot of psychology involved in this one. And Bitcoin's also, it's a short against the American economy. It's one of those things. Like I have another Substack one. It's one of my throwaway ones where it's everybody is defecting. Bitcoin is shorting the American economy, but not shorting for a collapse. So the idea is Bitcoin will do the best if the American dollar does shit, but the power plants still run. So it's like a weird, like, I expect apocalypse, but not Mad Max apocalypse, more stagflation apocalypse. That's the zone of defection people who buy Bitcoin are at. They're just out. I'm out. Fuck the US dollar, I'm out. Canada's doing that right now. I still laugh, man. Here, man, sorry we took your land. Here's $1 trillion of real estate you can have back. And everybody's like, well, then what the fuck am I paying property taxes for? I'm just going to give my house to the natives anyway. They're defecting. Chesty was talking about in his state, they didn't have a senator for 2 years, so a lot of people were putting their taxes in escrow, saying, well, if I don't have representation, I'm not paying taxes. But they put it in escrow while this gets sorted out, just in case the government decides to get them for tax evasion. It's like, no, it's there. Give me a representative and you have your money. And who knows, maybe they get to keep it. I don't know. But it's funny, like, in the red pill, what's the red pill but if not a defection? They get married, go to college, get a wife, stay a virgin until things, like all of that classic white picket fence shit. What is the red pill but people not defecting against that? It's like very basic game theory too. When you have defectors and collaborators, normally you'd have like, if you have like 10% defectors and 90% collaborators, systems work well. But the problem is defectors have now crossed a threshold to where if you're not defecting, you're getting screwed. So it's one of those navigations you got to do now. And that's all the red pill's been about, is navigating. How do I navigate the world as it is today? Not how do I bitch about getting the world I want? How do I chain smoke my way to freedom? It's like, fuck that. The Indians aren't going home. As much as I like to joke around about their going home and we have 7 new crime families in Canada. The Sinaloa cartel are fighting like the Indian transport mafia, and the triads were like, there's mafias I didn't even know existed here now. And now they're all here and they're all in government positions where it's like, fuck it, free for all. Like, why would you not have a strong tax avoidance strategy? Hell, CRA, our tax company, apparently when people call their helpline for advice, 85% of the time their advice is wrong. How do you not defect against that if the tax man can't even get it right? Are you saying tax evasion? No, tax evasion is illegal. I would not recommend that. Tax avoidance is just using every legal means within your disposal to have less tax. That's just smart. Cooper told me one thing too was good. He was writing off his car because, entrepreneurs in cars. He's like, well, I'm going to write off my R9. And he's like, I don't know if you can do that. He goes, you know what? Fuck it. I'll do it. Worst case scenario, they say you can't do that. And I'm like, oh, okay, fine. Didn't know. Here's your check. Pay a little bit of fee. So like people are making these small defect choices, right? So why wouldn't you? Dude, right now I'm defecting against the Canadian dollar. Like you guys are like, oh, the American dollar is going bust. It's like, not as fast as everybody else. The rest of the world refuses to let America fail because no. America beats us in everything. You beat us in economics. You beat us in the military. You beat us in entrepreneurship. You went to space. You went on the moon. The only thing the rest of the world has that you don't is that we can devalue our currency faster than you motherfucker. We'll get to Argentina before you get to Argentina. God damn it, you Yankee bastard. And it's true. We're fucking good at it too. Is this any different? Well, I guess, the 70s were worse. There were fucking food lines and avocado fridges and stuff, but it's kind of like a better version of that. Because, in the 70s, it probably would have been a lot more tolerable if everybody had cell phones and Twitter. Whatever. All right, so we're winding this one down now. Where was I going? The ice raids in Charlotte made my traffic morning feel like a holiday. I've heard about this. The one thing people notice, because it doesn't take a lot of cars to fuck up traffic, by the way. That's in Canada right now. Toronto's traffic was already bad, but now with the Indians on the road, it's become untenable. And it turns out you put like 5 assholes on a road with 1,000 people, and that's enough to just grind traffic to a halt. So yeah, ICE isn't doing its job. It's like trickling. You're getting 100 million, the estimates are like 100 million illegals in America, or like overstayed visas and shit. And in Canada, that's like 10 million. But we only have 40 million people here. So it's about the same, where it's like a quarter of people are illegal. And of those ones, a larger portion than the native population are just fucking assholes. Can't drive, can't read, don't pay taxes, do crimes. ICE is handling those ones, which is making a huge effect, and it's kind of giving people like some confidence about migration. They're like, wait a minute, you mean to tell me if you kick out 100 illegal migrants, traffic clears up, housing clears up. That little bit makes a difference. How much damage are all these ones causing? It's like, really makes you think. Really tweaks the old noggin. I mean, it's not going to happen, at least not here. But I think that's the worst part for people. The part they have the hard time with is that all you'd have to do is your job and the problem gets fixed, but nobody's doing their job. So what's the red pill guy do? Well, if they're not going to do the job, what do? I think Chesty had the good idea. Move west. Find a place with no migration. Go there. Fuck you. I'm out. Sip cocktails during the apocalypse. The party can start now. We got Marty in here. Good. So the Charlotte traffic stuff was real and not ice slop. Nice. Yeah, the LA traffic stuff too was real. But that's the thing. A lot of it too isn't just that you get the 5 guys off the road, but it has a cooling effect on other people. It's technically the same thing the Red Pill guys knew from Dalrock's essay Threat Point and Keone Galt's essay on Game is Red Pill. Is that with like those, you know, the divorce rapes things you see where somebody's getting divorced and they lose like all their shit and they get live homeless and they have to hide and like the legal things against them and they're shamed publicly and all that's all the worst divorce stories you've ever heard. They're actually rare. They're rare, but they're kind of the point of the system because they get every other guy in line. Dude, if you see a guy getting fucked over in divorce court, how do you think that affects how you talk to your wife? A lot of guys are like, oh, I better not piss her off. I don't want to end up like Brad Pitt or whoever. I don't want to end up like that guy who had to leave to the Philippines because he was like going to debtor's jail. It's a cooling effect, and they know it. People studied it. Like, oh, look at this cooling effect. It actually ended up increasing the divorce rate. So by showing shitty divorces, you increase the divorce rate because guys start placating their wives because they don't want to get divorced. And then girls hate being placated, and so they're more likely to leave their man. Oh, he's such a pussy. He used to stand up for himself. Now he's not. I'm fucking out of here. And of course, people lie. So they don't know this is why they're doing it. It's just, this is how it manifests. In their mind, if you ask him, like, I didn't do that because you stopped placating me. And he's like, I didn't do that because of those crazy divorces. And then they build some ad hoc reasoning for it anyway. But it's not the case. Because we can't describe emotions and we can't describe instincts. Instincts are just things that happen. See, when you're hungry, your body reduces the amount of ghrelin in your hormonal endocrine system, and then that causes you to have hunger. The bacteria in your body sends chemical signals, and that causes you to eat. Nobody thinks of hungry like that. I just felt peckish, and so I had a hamburger. Meanwhile, and that's why you're going to get a lot of arguments with the red pill stuff, because you're talking about ghrelin and hunger pangs, and the bacteria sending chemical signals. And they're just talking about, dude, I was hungry and wanted a hamburger. Just draw the fucking owl. Women shit test guys because they want to lose that battle against them, that power battle in their head. That's not at all what happens. I just wanted to eat a hamburger, and so I got a little hungry. It's like, all right. So just remember that. If you want to argue about sexual strategy, you're arguing ghrelin against somebody who wants a hamburger. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. The only people who actually talk about it on those fundamental levels are those evil feminists, which is why it's so easy to fight them, because they're on the same autistic ground as the red pill dudes. And then the red pill dudes, because they understand it at the top level, because then once you understand that, the emasculation paradox, that's the paradox where you're worried about your wife abandoning you and taking all your shit, so you placate her in hopes that she doesn't do that, which causes the exact situation because now she's got a man that she can't respect, and so she's more likely to do these things. That's the emasculation paradox. So if you want to survive that, what you got to do, you stand up for yourself. You're kind of one of those like no fucks given. Dude, I will burn this pile of money and give you half the ashes. Don't fuck with me. My stepdad did that to my mom for her second divorce. It was like 10 years held her at bay. It was fucking impressive. Like, I didn't like it, but you got to admit, as a sexual strategy, it fucking worked. Now he's sitting there he's got a new wife now, his like 4th wife. She's like my age. My stepdad's like in his 70s, and he's got like a new 5-year-old kid. I was like, Jesus, he's pulling one of those, like, hate the man or not, and a lot of people do. He plays the game and he plays it well. My ex-in-law worked for the tax office making cases against tax evaders. She literally couldn't tell me if I evaded taxes on RSUs because they haven't developed paperwork. She can keep my coffee machine. Jesus. Yeah. So, I mean, and I can't advise you to do anything. You do what you want. What I am telling you at the end of this is all of this shit we're arguing about, it's all the same. Just do a little bit of history sleuthing. Treat it like it's ancient Rome, and you'll find that every sloppish gender thing is no different than it's ever been. And all of these problems have happened before, and women are always going to say "fuck you, dudes" as like their main way to buy, and that's why they're wearing heels and stretched pants and riding bikes. It's because fuck you, dad. I'll smoke if I want to. I'll drink with my baby. I don't care. If I drink while I'm breastfeeding, my mammaries don't have time to synthesize the alcohol into the breast milk. So fuck you, dad. I figured it out. It's like, all right. How's that autism working out? I don't know what happened. It must have been the seed oils. Yeah, drunky McBreastfeederson. It must have been the fucking seed oils. Those damn evil corporations. By the way, why are you taking T3s with alcohol while breastfeeding? Because the SSRIs make my body hurt. It's like, I'm out. Big Pharma's at fault here, not your drunken ass. All right. And then just people are pushing against boundaries. How many of these boundaries actually exist, and how many of these boundaries are here from inertia? I guess we'll find out. And you don't even need a strong tolerance level. Just watch what other people are doing. Are you seeing Americans evading taxes everywhere and they're not getting caught? It's like weird. So when you're sitting there arguing, well, should I write this off or should I not write this off? It's a gray area. It's like, dude, there's people just not paying. They're Willie Nelsoning the shit out of it. They're Wesley Snipesing it. They're paying taxes like a black celebrity. And you're here worried about, well, is this write-off technically of it? Like, you're not the big fish to fry. Try things out. See what works. Because the law is only as effective as its enforcement mechanism. If they're not enforcing it, what are you going to do? Now, I'm not telling you to break the law. What I'm telling you is to test the boundaries of the law. Because things don't get fixed unless they break. So, yeah. It was the Tylenol. Exactly. That Tylenol I took for a hangover. In utero. That's why they have autism. God, if I really wanted to go gender slop, just start doing a big tirade on how women are the cause of autism in America. Like mothers, shitty mothers. Oh, here, I'll give you guys one tip, and then we're gonna get set up the thing for Rule 0. If you really want to start a fight with soccer moms on the internet, here's what you do: find a chick who had a colic baby. Colic is like they're very fussy, stomach problems, that kind of thing, right? And tell them their babies are colic because you don't have a good schedule. Basically, call her a bad mother. And dude, they will throw science at you. They'll be fucking livid. If that's your thing. Another one you can do is point out that chicks on SSRIs and having babies later in life is causing the autism crisis. That's another one. Basically, just point out that the consequences of a girl's actions are the outcomes that they're bitching about. And that's all you got to do. Hell, the thing about the wall. Do you realize girls invented a whole science on that? As soon as you talk about how, like, the geriatric pregnancies, you know the ones like 30 to 40, drops off a cliff, like, drops fast? As soon as you bring that up, girls have, like, they have studied the science of semen. When you're 55, the odds of this and the odds of this, and it's just like all this weird projection is perception science. So, go forth, my sons. Go start fights with bitches online. I'll retweet it if it's funny. I didn't tell you to do any of this. Don't cheat on your taxes, but do test the boundaries in the gray areas. Have some money set aside so if they find out, no, that's not what you're supposed to do, you're like, oh, fine, here's a check. I didn't know. Now, let's find... Dude, the new YouTube thing is... They moved everything around. So let's see, who's doing Rule 0? There it is. Nuke. Rule 0, not black, it's Dominican. Freshest eggs, healthiest kids who know. So I hope you guys enjoy. Gender slop is great, but only if you treat it as professional wrestling. Exactly. Why do you think guys are so good at it? Because we were raised on the fucking Repo Man, IRS, Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Dude, when you're raised watching a dude without teeth crack a 2x4 over somebody's head, you get good at gender slop. Anyways, that's it. Don't forget, be a good moderator.
You are a fucking moderator of a YouTube channel, young man. Moderate your channel like a goddamn man. Wise the fuck up.
Why not, you stupid bastard?
Oh, before I go, Dark Knight Dev with the $5 super chat. There is a Reddit called Regretful Parents that Jack put me on. The stories on there are insane. If they are any worse than the rape kink and stupid sluts club subreddits, I'll be impressed. Which, if you guys have not seen those, go check them out. It's as bad as Space Dicks was. You're like, what's Space Dicks? Like, you don't even want to know. But yeah, the rape kink and stupid sluts club. It's not like rape play as in like, hey, pretend like you're doing this. No, it's like I went to a frat party, pretended to be passed out drunk, and was setting myself up to get graped by one of these guys. And they get frustrated because, like, do you know how hard it is to get a guy to try to grape you? And that's like most of the posts. And I was like, and you know, like a lot of it's probably made up. But there's a couple of the moderator and like power users that are most likely really into this shit. So yeah, I don't know. That's why they travel to India. If you got a grape kink, India's the place to go. That's your mecca. Anyways, have fun, boys. Tell Nuke I said hi. Tell him non-ionizing radiation is better than ionizing radiation.
And Ryan Stone. He's a halfway decent looking guy, a nice smile. You have to get through that wall because he...
79T 2458 Learning Corp, Little Red Riding Hood, take 1.
Somebody find out the fucking real names for him.